Hey guys, how's it going? Hey, we're going to continue on with this 1969 Cub Cadet 105. In the previous video, we pulled the transmission, we took the charge pump off, and we set it up here on the bench. It turns hard. Something inside is wrong. I'm not exactly sure what. It has been requested that we take this pump apart and we see if we can figure out what is going on and maybe figure out how it works. Set of pistons up here and a set of pistons down here, and I think it sends fluid from up here to down there, and that's what spins this little shaft back here, which is fairly stiff. Starting to wonder what exactly is the deal with this pump, if maybe somebody put the wrong fluid in it at one point in time, causing it to seize up, although I doubt it seized. Maybe setting like it did for a long time might have something to do with it, because it did set for a number of years, I can imagine, before I ended up buying it. It makes you wonder too, you know, is that the reason why it was parked, is because I'll think of it eventually. the pump has problems? I don't know. So that's what we're going to figure out today, or at least we're going to see if we can figure out today, is what is going on. Yes, there's a snap ring. What is going on with our charge pump? A friend of mine has one of these charge pumps. He said he would sell me for $50, and I told him that would be a good deal. I'd do that. So yeah, we're just going to take this one apart, and we're going to see what failed, if I can get this stupid. I need a smaller pair of snap ring pliers. These ones just don't grab into the small ones like I would think they should. Maybe we can get a flathead screwdriver on that and twist it. Try to spread it open enough to. There we go. Yeah, I can get it. I can get it to open. There we go. Got it. Cool. Just gonna say I can get it open enough, and that'd be perfect. Will this come off here, or? There we go. And then probably this is held on by a pin. Wonderful. What's it held in there by? Nothing, it's just there. Is it just there? Yeah, it's just there. Oh, I gotta take note of this set up here, how it goes. I think there's another, there it goes right there. Yeah, there we go. Try to keep it set up like that. I got something in my eye. There we go. I think that this is supposed to come off here, but I don't see how. Unless it isn't. I don't know, maybe just the top piece. Yeah, maybe that one doesn't. Yeah, maybe it doesn't come off with the top piece. Maybe just the top piece comes off on its own. All right, let's see. Where would the bearings be at in here for this? They would be, I want to say they would be right here. There's probably one there and probably one on the other side. Let me grab a 9/16 wrench. Let's see. Those don't. What are those? Probably 5/8, I would guess. I wonder what's in here, if this is something else. We probably should have washed. Maybe we should have washed this pump. Well, I mean, why would we? When you think about it, it's already... I mean, it works, you know, but it's got something wrong with it as it sits. Why won't that? Ouch. I don't want to smash my hand into the desk. I feel like that's too loose. Are you sure it's not? No. Does this one grab better? That one grabs a little bit better. This is a 5/8, right? Yeah. Interesting. Wonder where that one grabs better. Yeah, just wore out. Damn it. I don't want to hit it. Well, I don't want to smash my hand into the desk. But I don't want to break it at the same time. I wonder if it's even supposed to come off. Someone's probably in the comments section telling me this doesn't come off. No, it came loose. Let's see what it does. Let's see if it's supposed to... There we go. We got ourselves a little bin to put the bolts in. What does that go through the entire pump? All right. Trying not to break anything in the process. Yeah. We're probably beating a dead horse at this point. This probably won't tell me anything. You know. Although I'm sure, you know, we're here to learn. Might as well learn something about it. You know, might as well pull it apart and see what we can figure out. Does this separate? I wonder. Maybe. There it goes. What's under door number 1? Needle bearings. Does that turn? Huh, okay. Bunch of needle bearings. Well, we don't want to lose those. Set that over there. There's your pump right there. That must be what pumps the fluid. Neat. I wonder if, now since the needle bearings are out, if it will pump easier or turn easier, I mean. So there you go. There's your pump right there. See, that turns. Either that turns or I think this turns. I think that might be stationary, the other one in there, I think I might be. Well, I don't know. I know one of them should be stationary. I can't remember what one. I can't get that in there or else I would turn it. Dare me. Maybe this will. Yeah, it turns just about the same. Well, there you go. That's how it works. See? That's what pumps. That's your pump right there. Yeah. I don't notice it turning any easier now with that needle bearing out. Does this come off or maybe not? Does it come off? No. I don't think it does. It might. I would think that this would come off here. There's a heatway going through. Maybe we gotta go further in. Probably these two. I think we addressed that we have pretty much taken all the bolts out in order to split it all except for two, you know, in the last video. So, I mean, why not just go into it further, see what we can find. So, that looks like it. Is that it? That's it. I'm not gonna lie, I did look at a video online, one of the channels I'm subscribed to. I kind of skipped through, but I kind of watched, you know, he had a SunStrand 15U that came off of a 317, and I was kind of curious, you know, I've never really messed with one of these, so I wanted to see what exactly was inside of it, you know, that way I had an idea what I was looking at. And it's actually fairly neat what all's in there. I didn't watch, you know, the entire video, but I watched a majority of it. I kind of watched him take it apart and, you know, see what goes where and what does what, you know, but I'm missing one. But, you know, you don't really get the experience of taking it apart from watching somebody else. So, can we get this to separate? Are we missing something? I think we are missing. How does this come apart? I think if we hit on these right here, from what I saw in this video, there are pistons down here and up here. Okay. Come on. Okay, are we missing something? No. I hope not. We shouldn't be. Everything should be, for the most part, out. Just looking for a... There we go. Now it wants to separate. Look at it. I really don't want to damage it, you know? I'd like to reuse it if I can. I'm trying to... Probably already cut through something I shouldn't have, you know. Of course, if I did, then wonderful. Mainly, I watched that one video because I was looking to see if he had a link to gaskets in his description. I think he made the one that he found, or the one that he had, I think he made. What are we hitting? And then once it gets solid like that, you're hitting something. Can we get... It started to, I thought. I don't like that screwdriver when it comes to hitting stuff. Here we go. This is probably better for what we're doing. We've been doing this. Now, I feel like, what's this? What are these? Do those hold something? Are we missing? What are these down here? Well, I found why. There's a bolt right there. That's why it won't come apart. Yeah. Wondered if I was missing it. Because I thought it should have, I would have thought it would have come apart by now. You know? Yeah, there you go. There we go. Hopefully now that that's out, I hope we didn't damage anything in the process. Let's see here. So now, maybe it'll come apart. Oh, that's surprising. Okay, come on now. We're getting there. Let's see if we can flip it around and get it to come loose. All right. I think one thing that I can see, are we missing? We're split. What are we not getting? Put this back together. Oh shit, I heard something fall. We probably can't get it to go back together now. I think we're to the point where we're going to have to get it apart. You know what I wonder? Will that come out the other side? Nothing goes on here, right? So I think if we hit on that, we get it to go out, we might be okay. Yeah, it looks like it's going in. Here's the other punch. You had a little punch up here. Let's see what I might have one over there. I don't know where my little punch went. I used it to knock that out, and then it just disappeared. There it is, right there. Let's see if we can get this guy to go in. Yeah. Cool. So now, that should separate. Get everything out of the way. Watch, we just made a $200 mistake. All right, so from what I saw, these right here are your pistons. These go in here, correct? Yes. They hang like so. I know it's supposed to be a clean environment, but goddamn, who cares at this point? We're taking it apart for science. I don't know if we're ever going to put this thing back together. I'd more than happily, you know, give it a shot, but what are we missing? We're missing one here. I am going to end up cleaning these up if I do put this machine back together, for those of you wondering. Let's put these back. These are your pistons. This is what I think pushes the fluid through. I think there's another set in here, if I remember right. I think it's on bottom underneath the Hold on a second here. Yeah, I think it's down there and it goes into the oil filter for the pump. Yeah, right there. Sure enough, it is. Give me a second. I gotta get these to go into their homes. Come on, guys. Go into your houses, for Christ's sake. There we go. But some of these, oh, that's right. Yeah, see, this is how this works. It rotates in there like that, up against the swash plate. That's your swash plate right there. That's not, what is that? Where's it? Is that the swash? Yeah, that is a swash plate. I thought there was another surface in there that rode on. Maybe not. Oh, this is what it rides on. This is your swash plate in here. This moves back and forth. And these ride on it. This is forward, I think, and that is reverse. The swash plate changes the way these pistons go. For example, if you go this way is reverse. This way, I believe, is forward. Again, I'm not sure. But this changes the way that these pistons rotate. And when they're in a line not moving at all, you know, not at an angle like that, that's neutral, meaning the transmission is not pumping, or the pump's not pumping fluid. This down here is the one that controls this down here. Yeah, now that's turning easier. The fluid sent from this piston rod up here is sent to these pistons down here. These ones control the output of your pump that goes into the transmission. And I think that this one also, it might be this one. No, this one's the drive motor. It's this one. This one controls the hydraulics for the attachments, right? I think. Maybe? No. This is for the motor. This is what drives the wheels. The thing up front is what drives the attachment. Yeah, that's it. That's exactly what it is. The pump up in the front drives the attachments. However, this pump in here is what drives your transmission. Makes it go forward and reverse. Okay, that's neat. See, I'm learning. Trying to keep it clean up here a little bit. And then this is your pump plate in here. Okay. That's cool. So, now that we've got dirt everywhere again, let's see if we can get the bottom. Does the bottom gear come out, or does that stay in there? What's this plate? This is part of, no. What is this plate? Interesting. Oh, that must be the valve body. That must be some kind of valve. Yeah, I bet you that's exactly what it is, because there's these holes up here. Does this come out if we were to try to take it out and access these bottom pistons? Let's leave the bottom, well, does this turn any easier? No. Actually, now it does. A little bit easier, not really. Oh, no, we are turning the whole pump. Not a lot easier, but I mean, it does turn fairly better. You know what I wonder? I wonder if this back, no, that's not stuck. That turns fairly well. That bearing back there feels just fine. I wonder why. That turns about like I think it should now. Actually, no. It still does fight me a little bit. Oh, look at that. This part of the pump fell off. Okay. We'll stick that in there with our others. Does this come off? Yes, it does. There we go. We'll stick that in there. Does this come out of here? Or is it part of the shaft? This roll pin right here, I bet, is the key. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's the key for this. That's neat. Let's see if we can get this roll pin out of here. Where'd my punch go that I had a second ago? The one that I need conveniently. Go on, something else. Where did that punch go? I don't see it. I bet you I know probably exactly what it is. Yeah, and then in there, here's your pump, or part of your pump. I bet you that flows up to your attachment right here. And right here, these would have went out to the hydraulic valve that lifted and lowered, or not hydraulic valve, to your, what's it called? They would have went to your spool valve. Those would have went to your spool valve for the levers, and that's what would have lifted and lowered your sent hydraulic fluid to your things. These are capped off on this transmission, as you can see, because this one didn't need them, because Cub used a different setup on these earlier narrow frames for whatever reason, instead of just having a normal pump like what everybody else did. I guess they just wanted to be unique. I don't know. Nothing against it. So, do we want to take, yeah, I guess so, with our dirty, oh, there it is. Why does it keep going over there? Let's see if we can pop this roll pin out. Oh, we can. I think now we can need a pair of pliers and we can get this shaft out of here. Actually, in a second thought, can we get it to come out with this? Just pushing on it? No hammering? Maybe? No? Possible? Yes? Yes. We can. Look at that. Awesome. Stick that in here. That has a needle bearing in it, so I really don't want to damage that if or lose those. Oh, I thought I was going to have to hit this. So there we go. There is this, oh it is. Okay. Yeah, we're missing a piston, which is right there. Yeah, that has one too. Okay. That's neat. Stick it back on there. The gear, I'll bet you that gear is what spins that instead of having a key. That's neat. Okay, so now that begs me to ask the question, why was it stuck? What made it so hard to turn? Was it the bearings? One of the bearings might have been the issue. I see that one had a normal bearing. The other side of it had a normal bearing where this side doesn't. This side looks to have a roller bearing. Looks like it does down on the bottom too. Maybe roller bearing might be the issue. Now it turns fairly simple. Let's put the pistons back on here. Oh, maybe we can figure it out. Figure out what happened and maybe get it working again. Stick this back on. We could probably take those pistons back out. Okay, why won't you slide through for me? Please. There we go. I was going to say, was it in like that or was it in further? Yep. Let's get this. Look at that. Yeah, see now it turns easier. Oh, we have it in the wrong way, idiot. Okay, I think I have the piston there backwards. And then yeah, I have it on backwards. Let's see. Wait a minute. This way. Yeah. Okay, why won't it? But it won't slide over that, will it? Will it slide over this? No. Okay, so then this goes in there like so. Yeah. There it goes. I was gonna say, why won't it go in there? Interesting. I wonder if this bearing, see now it turns fairly simple. I'm just going to be straight up honest. This pump is not going back together, I don't think. So I don't really, it doesn't really bother me, you know, if we put it together wrong. Well, let me rephrase it. If we put it together dirty, you know, because more than likely it's not going to run again, you know. It'd be cool to see if we can get it to, if we can figure out what's going on with it, you know, maybe and how it works. Which I think we've figured out pretty much how it works, you know. It's two pistons in here, the sets a piston there and there, and that's what seems to drive it. Will it stay? No. Man, I wish that, it fell. It fell right there. Let's see if we can push this back through. Go through. Okay. Why won't it? It needs to, so I can put the pump back on it. So I wonder. No. I know exactly what's going to happen. I'm going to set this on here, and I'm going to start losing pistons, like I thought. We could actually, I guess we could, all of them are the same. Yeah, for the most part. We could just take all of them out. I mean, as long as we know where they go all go right there. Is this supposed to go up further on here? No. You wouldn't. I don't think so. Wait a minute. No, we were trying to run it up here earlier. I was going to say, we weren't trying to run it from there down below, were we? Okay, why won't it go through this side? That's what I want to know. Why can't I? Why won't you go through the other side? Now it seems like it wants to turn. You know, I wonder why earlier we were having issues getting this to turn. Because now it turns fairly well, actually. You know, so it makes me kind of wonder, why were we having so much trouble getting it to turn earlier? I mean, there's not really much in here, in my opinion, that, you know, seems like it could go wrong. You know, I just realized something. We forgot something. Oh, I see what I'm doing. I need to line that up with this. Okay, I see now. I didn't catch that before. So we need to line this up with the hole in that. Okay, I see now. Yeah, there we go. Yep, I got it now. Okay. Yeah, I was wondering why it wasn't going through. It's still not going through. It's out far enough. Let's put that pin in it. Let's see. See, we're learning. We're learning how it works while we're destroying it at the same time. That hole doesn't quite stick out as far as it used to, you know, but does that go at an angle? Does it? No, that's just not out far enough. Damn it. Oh well. Alright, well, I guess we took it apart to see how it worked. Now it turns a lot easier than it did. What do you say we take this apart and maybe rebuild it? Is that something that would be of interest to you guys? Rebuilding this pump? How does this come apart? Well, I'm just going to be straight up. I don't think this pump's ever going to run again, honestly. But I mean, it is good to have extra parts, you know? It never, well, that just slid out. Yeah, there's your other one. This is a stationary swash plate. Yeah, while the one up top moves, this one stays in place. The one right there goes to, why not? Oh, because I'm not pulling on this. This is what I want to pull on. There we go. There we go. Trying to keep the plungers that go with the bottom one with it, and the ones that go to the top one with it. I wonder if we need to pull those out of there or not. Yeah, see, that's a stationary swash plate in there. That one doesn't move. This one up here does. Yeah, now that turns a lot easier. Now, I wonder if the bearings were part of the reason why. Okay, that one in there, back there turned nice. That's a normal ball bearing, it looks like. How does this come apart? Probably these right here. That probably is exactly what I'm doing. Let's see. Nope. Let's see if this one is probably it. Hopefully it's in this bunch. Yes. Come on. Yes. Oh, we got it. I don't know if this plate does anything or not. It might just be a bearing plate. I wonder if it's missing a bolt. I do see the one. I do see the hole right there. Unless that's supposed to be there. Maybe it is. I wonder if it's some kind of return. It returns fluid back into... You know what? I bet you that's what that is. That's probably a return that returns the fluid back into the... differential. That's probably where it... Yeah. Maybe it is. Because there is a hole... I think there's a hole for it in the case, if I remember right. And it's right there behind the gear. I heard something fall. Yeah, there we go. That's what did it. Oh, that's what held that swash plate in. Okay. Cool. So there we go. That bearing looks good. That's a needle bearing too. It almost looks like it's missing a couple of rollers. I hope it's not. Well, there we go. Now we know what it looks like inside of one of these pumps. These are probably machined down to the nearest thousandth inch. Gonna have to go through and really clean this up, aren't we? Just kind of inspect it. Not exactly sure what failed, but I'm sure if we dug into it deeper, we could probably figure out exactly what failed, or if I had a little bit more experience with these. This looks fairly good. I mean, I don't see any real wear. I mean, sure, it's got evidence of running, you know, but it doesn't look like it's had a rough life. I wouldn't think it would either, because it's probably always covered in fluid. Yeah. Neat. We keep getting dirt all over it. Okay, that goes in there. This is the off the top. And then there's a swash plate inside of here. Looks like there's roll pins that hold it together. I think if I remember right, there's 2 roll pins. Half of it is up here, half of it is down on the bottom, and that is what holds, that turns, yes it does. That is what holds this in here. How do you get, why was that turning? How do you get that to come out? Is that supposed to turn in there? I don't think it is. I wonder if... Oh boy. Looking to make damage. Oh boy. Let's see if we can get this to come down here. maybe. Oh, there we go. We got it. Let's see what this is. What is this plate? Wonder why it was in there. I don't know. Is there another one? No, that's it. So I wonder what this plate was in here for. Maybe it was the... Well... Did it have a... Oh, it did. It's right there. All right. Well, that's interesting. I wonder why this was in there. I wonder if that was... Is that factory in there like that? Why would they have it just in there floating around? I'm sure somebody out there knows. Which side was the top and which... This was the top, right? I think this side was the top. This would be... This would just spin around in there. It wouldn't... I wonder if it's some kind of spacer. Interesting. And then this down here is the... What's his name on YouTube? Workshop Rebuild. That's who it is. Has some videos on his YouTube channel on taking down these SunStrand 15U series pumps. If anybody out there is interested in a better video than this. This was just more or less tearing it down and seeing exactly what failed. I don't know what failed. It doesn't... Nothing really stood out to me, all except for the bearings. I'm wondering if maybe the bearings gave out. Maybe one of the bearings was shot. That could have been it. Because for the most part, it seemed like, you know, everything in there looked fine to me, all except for the dirt that we put in there, but that's really just about it. So, all right, guys. Well, I want to thank you for watching today's video. I think we have figured out everything that we need and how it works. Actually, no, we didn't figure out. Oh, maybe we did. I think we figured. What have we done? We took it apart. I showed you guys swash plates. Yeah. I think the pistons, these are your drive motors, and I think this pump right here, like I said before, is what drives the hydraulics. But why would it have that pump if it doesn't have the hydraulic ports on the front? Unless it's just pumping and sending fluid back to the axle all the time. Or maybe it's pumping the fluid through the what's it called? Bear with me, I'll figure it out. The cooling hose, the hose that takes it up to the pump. That's what it is. The hose that takes the fluid up to the pump. Maybe that's what this pump was. You know, that's probably what it did. All right, guys. Well, I think I have a little bit of an idea, you know, as to what I'm looking at here. Maybe I'll set everything back up in a way that I can explain it. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, it is midnight for me, where I'm... Actually, it's 1 o'clock in the morning where I'm at right now. I'm a little bit tired. I'm sure you can tell. I figured I might as well get this taken apart while I was sitting here looking at it and staring at it and thinking, you know, that would be cool to take apart and see how it worked. So that's what I did. We took it apart and we figured out how it worked. I think what I want to do is I want to see if I can find a rebuild kit for it. In the meantime, I have another pump lined up that I'm probably going to end up getting, and we are going to use it to run the tractor. So guys, with that being said, I want to thank you for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you learned something, please let me know down below. If you have any experience with these hydrostatic pumps, please leave me a comment down below and let me know. If you have a better idea as to what might have went wrong with it, leave me a comment. I have my suspicion. I think maybe one of the bearings spun. I would really like to hear what you guys have to say. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think, and I will catch all of you in the next video. Take care, guys. Bye. So you're probably wondering where the Cub's at and what happened to it. Well, right now it's sitting over here at the moment. It's in the faggot position, it appears. Actually, looks kind of neat the way it's set up. And then other parts of it are scattered over here in the office, storage room, whatever you want to call it. Right there's the engine, there's the hood. Over here are the rest of the parts from it. That is something else. And I was saying that it is 1 in the morning. It is 1 in the morning. Hang on. You guys can't see. It is 1 in the morning. 1:11. All right, guys. Take care. Bye. So it is the next morning. I said that I was going to end the video last night, but I just wanted to kind of do a little bit more now that I'm in the correct mindset. I went ahead and I set up the parts in an order, the order they came out of the transmission. I was kind of looking at them. I just was kind of curious and wanted to see exactly how things worked. I think I have figured it out. The way that it's set up is I think that this pump right here on the front of the transmission, on the pump, pumps fluid into this reservoir, this whole reservoir here, that these plungers or these pistons pump to each other. I think the way it works is there's these swash plates in here. This is the bottom setup. This is the top setup. I think I might be missing something from the bottom, but I don't think I am. I think I have everything. The top pump, or the top of it, this right here is your pump. This pump pumps fluid into the reservoir. Inside the reservoir this is the swash plate. We're just going to pretend that's the swash plate. This right here is your other set of pistons, and this is the valves on the bottom of the set of pistons. This spins around, and it does that all except for on a flat surface, so pretend that this is flat like that. It's staying like that the entire time, but this down here is spinning, okay, up against this plate. The way it works is when your swash plate inside of here, this is your swash plate, is stationary, in the middle like that. This is a better one to show with. In the middle like that, your pistons up here are not pumping any fluid. Therefore, these pistons down here are not moving. Does that make sense? When the swash plate up here is moved, like this, the more forward you go, the faster it'll go. In here, inside of the back behind the pistons, this is your top side, it goes in through here into where the check relief valves are. And when it goes into those relief valves, it goes through depending on where the button is on them. If the button's up, it passes through where it's supposed to. If it doesn't pass through them, because it doesn't drive the wheels when they're down. It goes down to this set, probably out through the filter, and then back in through probably somewhere around here, maybe on this other side. Maybe this side right here allows fluid in, this side takes fluid out, this side brings fluid in, this side probably takes fluid out. Actually, Would both sides down here let fluid out? Because I think we did find, yeah, right there, I think we did find where it drains back into the axle. So, but that's how the top works. It sends fluid down here, and then this swash plate right here, this is stationary, this one doesn't move. This piston does the exact same thing as the top piston does. It'll be like this. My pistons are kind of stuck. It'll be like that, you know, except for just imagine the bottom of it spinning around while it's stationary like that. This spinning causes this shaft to move, causing your tractor to drive forwards or backwards. But the way that this one is angled changes the way the fluid comes out. For example, this is probably forward, this is probably reverse, this is probably forward, and this is probably reverse. It probably just changes the way that it goes through the filter when it comes to down here. No, wait, no, that wouldn't make sense. Because if it did that, well, then you're taking all your dirt in through the filter. I don't know how it works. It probably just always... Well, actually, down here it wouldn't change because this plate is stationary. Okay, so it probably comes in through both of them, I guess. This one's probably forward, and this one's probably, unless it doesn't change. Interesting. I wonder if the direction of flow doesn't change. When it's in reverse, it's just the swash plate and the way the pistons are. It might send it a different way. I don't know. I don't know about that yet. But that's just kind of what I've gathered up and what I've come to figure out. And I think these two ports down here on bottom are drains where you drain the pump. So I think inside of here is a wall, and it goes up all the way except to this bearing surface right here. And that's how it works. So yeah, there you go.